favor.
Is there any questions?
No? You want to start the round? So yeah, the tournament today is just going to be 3 rounds, and we're going to find out who is on top. I don't know yet what the breakdown is. I have the tournament up on Lotus Pavilion, so any of those of you who are interested, if you go to Lotus Pavilion, and you, it's tournament ID 994 is the tournament. So those of you who are interested, you can keep up to date. It looks like we only have, actually, that's funny. We have only two Phoenix represented today. The most represented clan is the Crab with 3, followed by a 3-way tie between Scorpion, Phoenix, and Lion. And then Crane, Dragon, and Unicorn each have one player representing them. Okay, so Norm's starting off with Isawa Tsuko. Isawa Tsuko, not really a character that sees a lot of play lately from the Phoenix, just because there tends to be a glut of characters in the 4 and 5 cost range for Phoenix that are just so good. It really comes down to a matter of personal choice as to who to include. And then Zachary just plays Bayushi Shoju and then nothing else. And Norm responds with Asako Suku with no fade on it. I wonder where those rings are from, actually. Those look really nice. They look metallic.
They're I think they're either acrylic or cardboard. I can't recall.
Okay.
They look nice.
That was quick, though. So it looks like it was a 4 to 5 bid. So Zachary actually bid... No, sorry. Zachary bid 5. They both bid 5. And then Zachary ended up using his box to take an honor. Oh. Now, the interesting thing is that I think because Zach wanted that one fate from passing first, he didn't use an action to dupe Beishi Shoju. But Zachary on the table mic says that he's actually passing his first conflict, and so he's going to pass it over to Norm.
Yeah, so I played against Zachary last week in a Battle for the Stronghold event up in north of the city. I'm pretty sure he went 3-0 in that event and took it.
Oh, wow. Well, was he playing Scorpion as well?
He is a very dedicated Scorpion player.
Okay. So Void Conflict is going to be Norm's first conflict of the game, and it reveals Shameful Display as the province. And right away, Zach going ahead with the honor dishonor on Shoju and Atsuko rather. So that's going to put that is a military conflict. I got it. So she just used the void ring. Used the void ring action. Travis has a judge call, so he's going to go and take care of that.
Your charge would not change the game state, so you can. Yeah, it was like one.
So, sorry, that was just Zach winning that Void Conflict despite using that ability. Yeah, pretty rough hit for Norm, getting that Shameful Display on the first turn.
Yeah.
Because now you have an Honored Shoju with 2 Fate on it. Another Shoju, another Shoju waiting on that province too to dupe. So he's gonna be sticking around for a while. Allows the Forge Edict without any,
and without crippling your
yeah,
character.
severe deleterious effects. So this is a Void Conflict on Shameful Display, using the favored ground to bring in Shoju. And now, unless Norm has something to buff Asako Tsuki's ability, she's going to probably die to Shoju's ability here.
So,
Ooh, nice.
oh, okay, that's good. That's a
mine.
reasonable thing.
Of course, one of Phoenix's strong suits is almost completely unfettered access to Cloud the Mind anytime they want because of the amount of Shigenjas that they have. So turning off Bayushi Shoju is a huge coup here.
Yes.
Especially it being its only character in play right now. Now all Norm needs to do is find a way to buff Asako Tsuki, and then
Was he able to do the Cloud of Mind
take out.
before he started using his ability?
Well, I guess no. Well, Zachary's first action was to use the favored ground
All right.
to bring it in. Yeah.
Of course. So plays the court games, dishonors Tsuki.
Yep. So Seal the Phoenix comes down. Yeah, so Seal the Phoenix giving the double scholar trait to Tsuki. Yeah. But so this is just giving that extra buff. I mean, that's still going to be 0 strength for Norm until he re-honors Tsuki. Or 1 strength.
No, he'd be at 1 strength. Zach just played a for shame.
Yep.
Talking him about. So yeah, no fate for potential against the waves. That it's too bad. It would have been nice to get the honor on Tsuki and the winning the favor there. Instead, the favor is going to go to Zach.
So a lot of cards played on Zach's side. However, that's kind of the way Scorpion goes.
Yeah.
Just not a lot of board presence, but certainly a lot of hand presence. Managed to stave off the assault on the Shameful Display. Now Tsuki going away is actually pretty huge. I almost feel like, I mean, Norm was definitely limited by the amount of the type of characters he had in his flop. So I don't know if playing Tsuki with extra fate and nothing else was actually a viable strategy for him last round. But yeah, now going into the second round, he only has 7 fate. He wasn't allowed to he wasn't able to carry anything over from the previous round, and now he has dishonored Sako. And unfortunately, the second Tsuki shows up after the first one dies. But Norm deciding instead he's just going to play Shiba Sukune, as his only character for the round. And Zachary responds with Yogo Outcast. And Norm passing, getting a fate. And then Zachary, now that he doesn't have the opportunity to pass first, he's just going to dupe Bayushi Shoju. Still has a lot of fate though, so he can play the Young Rumor Monger if he wants to. Young Rumor Monger is, I think, a great play. It's a great character to play against Phoenix as well as Crane.
Absolutely. So the one positive here is it looks like Norm is not likely to lose an honor to the Scorpion box this time.
Norm's also using the dial on...
unless, of course,
Yeah, this time Norm bid less on the doll. He bid 3. Yeah, and then compared, I think, to 5. Or sorry, no, it was 3 to 4 again.
Yeah, Norm. Yeah.
So Norm is actually at 10 honor now. Wait. Yeah, that's the first play. Yeah, so he should be at 10 honor. And Zachary's at 10 as well.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you said he bid 3 to 5.
I was mistaken. Sorry. Yeah. That's weird. I mean, Zachary bid 4 last turn too, I think. So I see a Way of the Phoenix in Zachary's hand. That's going to be huge against Shiba Tsukune.
Way of the Scorpion, you mean?
What did I say?
I think you said Way of the Phoenix.
Whoops. Yeah, Way of the Scorpion.
Either your brain misfired or mine did. One of the two.
Oh, Pilgrimage. Void Trigger gives Secret Void Trigger gives Zachary a fate there. So Pilgrimage is going to be huge just because, like, unless Norm breaks this, he's not going to be able to fire off the fire trigger here. Yeah.
Oh, yes, 7. Well, hang on. I'll do that there. 6, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 due to the army.
So I think I heard Zachary say that he wasn't putting any defenders. Yeah, I don't think he was putting any defenders in, and the reason is, yeah, the reason for that is just because he knows since Zachary has a Way of the Scorpion, he can just straight up dishonor Shiba Tsukune, no problem. That's what he's going to do.
Thank you to our friends over at First Earth who hosted us. I'm guessing the System Open in Hanover is now concluded for the day. I'm curious who won, but we'll have to check that out later.
Yeah. I don't know how much crossover there is between X-Wing players.
Nope.
But for those people who have jumped onto our channel from First Earth, I think our next X-Wing tournament is probably going to be sometime either later this month or next month.
Yeah, we may have one in early May. We definitely have a charity event that we're going to be covering from Montreal late in May next month.
Yeah, with the Millennium Condor Bello Diffusion guys. So if any of you are familiar with those people, we're gonna be hosting their tournament on our BTT live.
You can also check out all the videos from Canadian Nationals over on our YouTube channel if you haven't watched them already.
Yeah, we just finished putting up the finals a couple of days ago, I think. So you can follow the entire tournament on that.
But people are here for L5R, so we'll get back into the game.
So is Zachary revealing the splash for his Scorpion deck, which is Crab. Now, Crab Splash is actually something that, at least in my experience, I've seen people go away from, just because the so-called big hand small board deck that Frotop made popular for Scorpion was a Dragon Splash of Crab. So Manicure Garden is going to be the conflict on a political conflict on Manicure Garden, and I think it looks like it's just Shoju with a Pathfinder's Blade, including the so that's 10 skill between an Honored Shoju and the Imperial Favor. Now, unfortunately, unlike the Dragon opponents, if you have a giant, for example, a giant Dragon champion barreling down on you, you can't use Against the Waves to bow Shoju like you could with Togashi Yukuni. And with two dishonored Phoenix, high glory Phoenix characters on the table, it's looking very unappealing right now for Norm to even defend with anything. So this is one of the big pitfalls of playing this type of deck against.
Yeah, it's really brutal. Like, Tsukune is really difficult unless there's a lot fewer Scorpion in the meta. Something that can just turn her off. There's lots of Cloud the Mind as well. So even if you think her ability is still worth it,
right?
The chances where she gets completely disabled are pretty high.
So now I think Norm's still deciding whether or not he wants to defend with a character or not. I do see a Benton's Touch in Norm's hand, so that's a way for him to re-honor one of his characters if he needs to. Specifically, he would have to bow the Sawa Itsuko to do it, just because Benton Touch requires a Shigenja to play.
There wasn't really. I mean, I could have run it a second.
So here's a double defend.
I kind of want him in the graveyard right now.
And yeah, Norm's going to have to use this. Norm's going to have to find a way to buff at least one of his characters, if not both right away, because they're both in danger of dying. Okay, so Clarity of Purpose is the first card played by Norm. So it's one of the new cards from the Disciples of the Void pack.
Oh, snap.
I got it. So yeah, it's actually a really strong card. I don't know, I don't know, Travis, if you've had an opportunity to play with any of the cards lately, but Clarity of Purpose I think is a huge game changer, especially for vertical Phoenix decks.
Yeah.
Allow big characters to participate in multiple events at once. Especially on defense, because you play as your first action, they can't bow your guy anymore.
Right.
And it's going to be ready for the next attack after resolution of the conflict. So with a Cloud of the Minded, with a Cloud of the Minded Shoju, he's not able to kill off the Sukune. So this is a Benton's Touch being played by Norm.
And immediately gets for shamed in response from Zachary. So
response.
Dishonored once again. Because played the Clarity of Purpose, so it can't actually bow, has no choice but to take the Dishonor effect from the fortune.
Oh, and here's a
Guard Duty.
Guard Duty. That's a deep cut. Guard Duty was something that was actually I think some Phoenix players were playing early on in during the 6 and 6 of the first cycle, just as a way to honor big glory guys like Shiba Sukune. So who knows? Maybe Norm's gonna find a way to out honor or out honor Zachary's dishonor tricks here.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I do see a Fate Worse Than Death in Zachary's hand. He elects not to use it, but now that's curious. Did he not use the Guard Duty's ability, or did I miss something?
Well, he played it. He hasn't used it yet. Okay. Zachary had an action. Oh no, he didn't use it at all?
Yeah, so the conflict is over. Sorry guys, this is it's difficult to manage all these elements at the same time.
Wow, that's a lot of cards.
Yeah. That was I think a 3-4 card swing.
Yeah.
Well, 3 card because he had to play the thing.
How did Kata get honored?
I'm not sure. You think with a table mic I'd know, but
that's fine.
The pace of play is actually really fast right now, so it's kind of hard to keep up, especially with the table microphone. But
yeah,
I'm gonna try to do a better job.
Particularly for the first round of the day, we are always kind of trying to handle a few different things at the same time. So
yeah,
we'll get into our reason.
So here we go, military conflict.
Right, there you go. So Dr. Spangle from the chat explains things to us. He did use the Guard Duty, and the Young Room Runner changed the target, so it honored Kade instead of honoring Skuna. So,
what is the name of that new?
Which one?
The name of the new Phoenix province.
Oh.
Anyway, it's the province that was just revealed. Not that it matters because it ends up being a break, but it's the province that was revealed is one of the new Phoenix provinces from the Disciple set. It says instead of counting whatever the skill is relevant in the conflict, it's your glory instead. So 2 province breaks on turn 2 for Zachary. And yeah, Norm is on the back foot again in this situation where he's only able to keep.
It's Senpuku Saito.
Yeah.
Telegraphing that I have a 4-chain voice spotter in my hand.
And then he just remembers to right now. He just remembered to use Shiba Tsukune's ability. So resolving the fire ring to honor Tsukune. Zachary just reminding Norm that you have to name both rings with Tsukune before you actually resolve any of them.
After she enters play, because I have 3 blue currently.
Let's see. No.
Now there's Tsukune on the flop, so she's gonna perhaps stick around for a little bit longer. However, still a massive amount of political strength on Zach's side. It's going to make it very difficult for Norm to be able to defend. Yeah, duping Shiba. Now, but however, since that guard duty's on Tsukune, she's basically going to get a free honor every turn.
I mean, it does make her much better.
Yeah. So there's a black hole artist coming out on Zachary's side. And wow, we see a fawning diplomat too in Zachary's province. Depth of the waves on Norm's side.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yes.
Plays a Solemn Scholar as well. Oh yeah, I didn't notice Norm was using the Conquest dial for his honor as well.
Is this their deck? No.
Oh, okay. You win. Do not break.
For those. I just get it so I had the clams.
Okay, but he's not playing during Corner Splash. He's playing Crab Splash.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one.
That's why I was like looking at his deck.
No.
I see Pathfinder's Blade, but not a Spyglass. So it can't be a Spyglass or a Ichi
Grabbed the wrong purple.
I will also pass pre-conflict into my conflicts. Really good right now. Yeah. Let's send Bay. Alright, set the brawler. Let's go kill an actress because I don't like actresses.
So Zachary's first conflict is probably going to be political. Looks like a political water conflict with Shoju and a blackmail artist. So that's a 9 political strength.
Shameful display.
Yeah. This time it's Norm's turn to trigger the shameful display.
Well, to try to, anyways.
Yeah. I don't think Norm's decided. Oh, there he goes. So 4 plus 2.
I mean, yeah, he wants to get the guard duty to fire on Tsukune.
So we start with 9 to 6 on Zachary's side. Norm gets first play here. Cloud the Mining, the annoying rumor monger. because yeah, he definitely wants Sukune honored and not the naive student, or even worse, solemn scholar. Yeah, like as we said earlier, this game, Young Rumomonger, huge technology against Phoenix deck.
Fate worse than death on Sukune.
Oh, brutal. See now, I think if you were going to play a Cloud the Mine, you really should have done it during the pre-conflict phase. Now, I don't know if Norm was expecting the, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if Norm was expecting the Fate worse than death, but anyway.
Policy debate.
So, just to also recap, Norm tried using Shameful Display and the Pathfinder Blade canceled it. So yeah, 7-2 on the Pathfinder. Sorry, the policy debate. Good Omen. That's a weird one. I mean, that kind of, I think, explains why he's been bidding low constantly. But Against the Waves, good pull for, yeah.
I don't think Zachary is terribly worried about those censures in Norm's hand. Oh, another policy debate. Just going to skip the whole repeat of the dials.
And an assassination with the depth of the waves. Crazy. So that's going to... Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll figure out the roles afterward.
Taking advantage of his favorite niece, then ditching an ornate fan for a draw. Ditch another fan for a draw.
So is this still during the conflict, I guess?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Because it doesn't look like the Shameful Displays. So stealing one honor with a Blackmail Artist because Zachary has now won the conflict. And I think this is also a Spies at Court that he just played because he dishonored the Blackmail Artist.
Yeah.
So Zachary at the table right now is just explaining to Norm that you do get to choose the order of discard with Spies at Court, and the reason why that's important is because Zachary just indicates that he does have Illustrious Plagiarist in his deck,
Okay.
which does care about the order of the cards in your discard pile. So that's the third Broken Province. And with the Water Ring, he bows the Solemn Scholar. So now the door is completely open for Zachary to now make an assault on the Stronghold between the Military Favor, and 3 unbowed characters, and a Watch Commander. Wow. So Zachary's deck definitely seems like has a lot of elements of, I think, the classic Scorpion Dishonor strategies. Splashing Scrab, and Ancestral Lands was the reveal, but since it was a military conflict and Zachary, I think, had more than enough military to crush the province.
Yeah, he's got 7 showing there. He's got a mitt full of cards, so probably even more strength he can bring to bear if he needs to.
That was actually a really aggressive lines of play by Zachary. I mean, I'm really impressed. Just with turn one Scorpion Champion, and just breaking province, like at least one province every turn. And especially during that last turn where it was just, okay, send that guy home, bow this guy, blank this guy, no opposition, so that was pretty good. So that's going to be the conclusion of round 1 of 3. So we got 30 minutes left on the clock. This game was definitely the quickest of all of them.
Yeah.
But we'll be back, I think, in half an hour with the second and third round. We hope you guys are enjoying the live stream of the Disciple of the Void release. And we'll return shortly. Thanks. All right, welcome back, guys, for round 2 of the Disciple of the Void release tournament here at 401 Games. This round we've got a Crab mirror match. We've got William on the right, Pat on the left, both playing Crab. Do you know, Travis, what
I do not know what
their splash cards are? Okay. So I think Travis is going to go and find that out right now. But yeah, as we said in the first round, it's just going to be a 3-round tournament. I use that term very loosely. It's just really just a collection of games. People are just going to come and, there is, as some of you know, some prizes to be won in the kit. Some really cool looking play mats and, of course, the alternate art Kyuden Isawa strongholds, as well as the alternate art Path of Man Kiho cards. So, Travis, do you know what they're splashing?
They're both splashing unicorn.
They're both splashing unicorn. Okay. I mean, as we probably suspected, just because when you're playing Crab, there are a couple ways you can go with it, but if you are going to have honor pressure as part of your plan, drawing low is going to be part of that plan. So you want to have as many effects that draw you cards outside of the dial bid. So most likely we're going to see lots of spyglasses from both players. Talisman of the Sun is also a very high probability, just because Crab tends to play a little bit more defensively. So that's going to be a good buy for especially characters that are going to be planning on sticking around for a very long time due to effects like Reprieve and Iron Mine. So I wanted to know if anyone in the chat has had an opportunity to play with any of the new cards in the Disciples pack, and even if you're not playing Phoenix as your main clan, if any of the cards have actually been useful in the decks you've created. Personally,
or even cards that you think are going to be particularly strong in this new meta.
I mean, I think my primary clan is the Dragon Clan, so I think that
L5R players, time the round will begin now.
I think that Tadaka, no, not Tadaka, my bad.
Tadaka, yeah.
No, whatever the name of the new monk is. Do you remember his name is?
Oh, Tagadatsu? Takadatsu.
I forget his first name though. Takadatsu.
Tageshi.
Togashi Takadatsu, yeah. Yeah, Togashi Takadatsu is a really strong card in Dragon, just because, well, he is a monk, and when I used to play the old CCG, I was a big Dragon player for 2 reasons. Number one, because I was a huge fan of the Enlightened Mid-Victory Can Win condition, and the other reason was my favorite style of Dragon deck was the Monk Kiho deck. That usually tried to its strategy was it wouldn't win by playing all 5 rings out, but it would play a couple of rings out just to generate the advantage that those rings had turn after turn, and then.
Well, I mean, I think one of the tough things with him, just playing him yesterday, is the double-sidedness.
Yeah. Now I've heard from other really good Dragon Clan players that, I mean, generally when you play Dragon, there isn't really one specific ring that you need every turn, because you're more building towers that break provinces, right? That's your strategy by and large. So Tadakatsu doesn't hit you as hard as, like, say, a Phoenix player that may want specific rings to, either their, like, water obviously for their Prodigy and then you have the Earth ring for their Solemn Scholar, that sort of thing.
But I mean, for Phoenix with that water ring, they can just choose to send you water on your first conflict. And they get it just needs to be claimed, and they get most of their benefit.
So Pat just said on camera, so Pat just said on the table, Mike, I know you guys can't hear us, so I'll just relay to you. He just said Crab doesn't war against each other, so this is just a training exercise.
Yeah.
So it looks like Pat kept a conflict hand with 2 assassinates in it. And William with a Karada District flip. Now, generally a very strong card against Dragon. I think it has a lot of uses against a crab that's splashing Unicorn as well. So William starts off with a Caillou Envoy. Pat answers with his Hida Guardian. William also just commenting on he hasn't really seen Yasuki Taka played all that much.
No.
So hopefully we'll get to see him in action
Well,
this
looks
game.
like we'll pass.
Nope. Oh, yes. Thank you. He did pass.
Yeah, he took the fade.
And William just pointed out something very interesting. Yasuki Taka actually counts crab characters that you don't own as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, after a crab character leaves play during the conflict phase. So actually, I mean, Taka has the potential to actually make a lot of money during this game.
Right. Let's see if I can get.
Where's Pat's? Just as an aside,
I'm just trying to figure out where
Pat's
where he's
honor?
I don't know if he's using that dial for his honor.
No, I think that's his bid.
It's, right.
So William being the first player, he did play out that Haruma Skirmisher. So fire military with just a skirmisher. Maybe a good idea to actually covert Taka. I was going to say covert the Hida Guardian, force Taka to defend. Looks like a Manicured Garden got flipped over on a military conflict. So Pat can defend here, and with the favorable ground, he can pump his guy up to 3. Of course, Pat also is sitting on 2 assassinations. Now, unfortunately, neither Haruma Skirmisher nor Caillou Envoy are particularly appealing targets for an assassination.
Well, he just get money for it, right?
That is true. Three honor for $1. So he will be defending with the Hida Guardian. So first action will be to gain a fade off the Manicured Garden. Now, wondering if William has maybe a bonsai or perhaps even an assassination of his own. So here we see a charge, Borderlands Defender coming into play. It's going to bump up his strength to 4. Just now this line of play, I think, suggests that William has a bonsai in his hand, because I don't think charge is the kind of thing that you would play if you didn't have a way to buff it further to break the province.
Either that or potentially has an assassinate to take out the Guardian as well.
Okay, so that looks like Pat double bonsai there, bringing his total up to 5. Now, I may have. I'm not sure if I missed the.
There's the bonsai in response.
Yeah. So putting all on the Borderlands Defender. So that's smart, especially because Pat does have those 2 assassinates in his hand. So 5 to 8 right now.
Still not quite a break. Oh, clearly he's got the favorable ground there, so it will be an additional point of strength. So.
He could do that. I mean, yeah, he could indeed do that because the Caillou Envoy has 0 political strength, so you're not really worried about a political poke by the Caillou Envoy. So that looks like what he's going to do. He's going to bring Taka in. That actually allows him to use the Heat of Guardians ability now as well.
Absolutely, but
Yeah. In the box here, I think maybe just to lock down the conflict. So now I see a Gaijin Customs in Pat's hand, but unfortunately there's no unicorn cards in play yet to take advantage of that.
may end up being a rather uneventful round.
Well, Will does have a Watch Commander in his hand, although I don't think you want to waste a Watch Commander on a 1 fate 0 fate on it character.
No, I mean, yeah. If he could be sure that he was going to take the fate off of Taka, but I mean, there's obviously lots of ways for that character to go down. He won't even wait for him to try to buff.
An assassination, crazy. Okay. So that brings Pat's honor count down to 8.
I think I would have waited for him to spend something first,
because he wasn't winning the ring.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he wasn't winning the ring, so I think he would have just been better off letting it happen. Letting the attack resolve, right. And then maybe force him to play a card first, like you said, right? And then get him to assassinate response. So, because as it was, actually, that exchange left William up a card because he was able to draw a card and get a fate off it.
Right. Well, and I also think I don't think Pat took the fate for the crab character we played.
Right.
It is an optional reaction, so I'm not going to say anything. But I think that was a missed opportunity. So I believe he had one and gained one off the garden, and then.
So the flop now, we see an Iron Mine on Pat's side, which is very fortunate because Taka is definitely a card that you want to keep around. So here we go, another Heated Guardian, this time with 1 fate on him. With a little extra money this time, Pat's willing to splurge a bit. See what William responds with. Now William's flop is a little mediocre. I mean, the Shrewd Yusuke can give him a little bit of card advantage, but he does get that Shrewd Yusuke with 2 fate on him. And does have enough money to play a Steadfast Witch Hunter with some fate to spare going into the conflict phase. Pat's going to play his own Steadfast Witch Hunter with 2 fate on it. William falls with his own, and then we're likely going to see a pass from Pat here. The bid for both players is 1. So this is going to be a very resource-light game, I think, at least until one player manages to grab down or play a Spyglass.
I feel like this round might be more eventful.
Yeah, Watch Commander coming down on William's side. Sometimes I get lucky. What the? Yeah. Actually, I just realized.
That was the other hope.
Yeah, actually realized. I mean, as far as the dynasty goes, I mean, it's not like there's a lot of variation between. Yeah.
Yeah, because the casual tournaments, we're not collecting deck lists in our overlay software. we're just throwing in kind of random desk lists, so we have the factions. Most of the cards we need to click on to bring them up are there, so it makes it our lives a little bit easier.
So Pat starts out with
the political conflict.
Oh, my bad. Political. Yep.
Political Earth on Shameful display.
That's 5, right? 5 strength.
On political, yes. There was no favor in the first round.
Someone
been, right?
should have the favor, right? Okay. Okay, so Shameful Display coming down. There's some really cool looking Sonner tokens on Pat's side. And there's a second assassination we see from Pat. That's actually really good value because, yeah. So that favor looks like it's on political? Military favor? Okay. Is the favor this card right
No,
here?
it's this right here that you just put in play.
Ah,
So
okay.
it's got the helmet, so I know it's military. I'm hoping that the political favor is blue as well. To make
Right.
it easier.
Okay, so that's a break by Pat, and so because it was Earth, we'll see if Pat remembers to put the Keeper Initiate into play. And yeah, he does indeed remember. So pretty good first conflict for Pat. That leaves William's Steadfast Witch Hunter stranded without a sacrifice target to ready
Did he remember
himself.
to take the fate this time? No.
I think he did. No, he did not.
All right, so we're gonna wave the crab here, getting rid of
Yeah.
the Guardian.
So actually,
He did Guardian for was a Steadfast Witch Hunter.
yeah, and this time he actually does remember the Taka trigger when he played Way of the Crab.
Well, he lost one. He may be only doing it for his own characters.
I see.
So that looks like it's the case. He's triggering it off his own characters, not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not a scenario that you would expect all
No.
that often where you're playing a Crab Mirror match, but... So, yeah, Meditation on the Dow was the conflict, and it's military. And it looks like 6, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so the favorite 6.
Yep.
It's another break. Undefended this time.
Yeah. So it's actually 6-5 now because he took an honor from Pat.
So yeah, he accidentally lost track of a fate that was on the Steadfast Witch Hunter.
Oh, well. What? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, Pat's just saying that he bought the Steadfast Witch Hunter Tooth Fate, and then at some point during the conflict,
Yeah,
he got knocked off. So, yeah. So now, because of that miscommunication, William. Okay. Yeah.
So they figured it out amongst themselves. Using the Iron Mine to keep
Tadaka, most likely.
Taka alive, yeah.
Taka. Tadaka. Taka. Yeah. Pierre Lemasson says Iron Mine men. I agree. Iron Mine is very annoying. It's so funny that like one of the big, themes on Crab is that I guess it's supposed to reflect their tenacity, but
Yes.
like the fact that they stick around with 0 fate.
Yeah.
Maybe the whole theme of that is that they're cheating fate somehow, or they're living past they're living on borrowed time for things like Reprieve and Iron Mine. I don't understand how mining comes into it though.
I guess just because that means they can resupply to stay in the battle.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure some lore master will tell us the connection between Iron Mines and sticking around. So one of Crab's premier characters, Kayusuichi, comes into play. And wow, 2 more Iron Mines on the Pat's flop. Now, the thing is, Pat actually has a lot of... Yeah. Pat has
more than he can use.
A lot of Iron Mines,
but they're not getting broken, so they'll be good here for future turns.
Well, also not only that, but like especially, just based on the flops right now, it's if Pat has another. Well, he's used both his assassinations. I don't know if he has a third assassination in his deck or not, so he can't quite pull off the same assassination into Way the Crab combo that he did last turn. We're gonna have to remember to get rid of that too. No, that's my fault.
So we see a 1 bid from both players.
It's actually really surprising how so much is actually getting done on both players' sides, despite the fact that they're both bidding 1.
Yes.
And that not only just that, but the fact that like both players have been bidding 1, and still the honor count is 6-5. It's kind of funny. Now I know a lot of that has to do with Watch Commander and assassination shenanigans, but we may see Pat here starting to pull ahead in cards with Shurjusuki.
I don't know that he can stop another province from being broken this turn.
Yeah, especially since with the Steadfast Winch Hunter, I mean, he can force a defense and then just ready something and send him in again. Been seeing some really quick games here today. It's weird. Maybe we're just lucky to have them on stream, but. It's tough. Now, I don't know if William's still deciding whether he wants to initiate a first conflict or not, or if he's actually passed it to Pat.
Well, I mean, he's in a situation where the wrong decision could potentially put him at risk of losing this turn.
For sure. So it does look like he actually passed his first conflict. So that means we're going to go for a void political with Taka and Shurjusuki.
Ends up seeing a manicured garden.
So with a starting strength of 4, it's going to force William to defend if he wants to keep this province. Now, William does have a Mountain Does Not Fall, which can actually be very useful with Suichi. Plus an Ornate Fan in William's hand. It's going to go with a double defend here. Nope. Yeah. So just with Suichi. Mountain Does Not Fall. Great play here. Yusuki triggering here. Sorry, Shurjusuki triggering. Was that a Haruma Skirmisher?
It looked like a skirmisher to me.
Well, probably going to see William play an Ornate Fan here just so he doesn't lose the conflict. Yep. And of course, the box is always available to him as well. Court games can be a potentially devastating play as well here on Kayusuichi. So that's going to bring. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it was a skirmisher that he drew.
I think See, it's tough, right? Because, I mean, on the one hand, you could say, let him have this one, and then I'll covert him again. But Suichi does have covert, so it's not like that Haruma Skirmisher is going to be able to do anything
True.
to
That's a good point.
get through the.
I mean, you can keep the Guardian out, but
Yeah.
without the ability without being able to break both this turn. I mean, I don't think he does have a lot of fate to spend.
So watch Commander coming down. This is actually going to even up the score.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5, yeah. So.
Oh, sorry. He doesn't have that much strength, right?
Taka?
Because Taka is Dishonored?
Yeah. So it's 4
sorry,
minus
that's
2.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And here's the court games honoring Taka. Very nice. So honoring Taka, and then William responded by using Suichi's ability to gain a fate because there is a holding in play. Thinking about playing maybe a second Ornate Fan. I mean, I think you should go for it. Like, you're banking on that Suichi to be sticking around for a while anyway, and you might as well just try to win this conflict. Because if you play the Ornate Fan, that's 7.
You can use
Actually,
your...
sorry, he's actually at 6. I just missed the box trigger there. So
Oh, sorry. Okay. He's already done
yeah,
it.
but that wasn't enough anyway. It was Pat ends up winning that conflict. So Haruma Skirmisher, but I think Pat's about to realize that he can't covert past the Suichi.
Well, I think he's actually going to just use the Skirmisher as
Ah,
his sacrifice
yes.
for the set hat.
Okay.
Which
Well,
turn?
okay.
He wants to
I'm not
use
a
the
crap.
Vanguard Warrior to get a fate on one of his characters.
Yeah, I'm not a crab player, so I tend to miss these tiny lines. So rebuilding a Iron Mine, no. Favorable ground. So that's curious. I wonder what the purpose of that is. Is he just using it to buff up a province, perhaps?
No, I think it might be where he can now commit enough to break regardless of defenders.
Yeah.
And if William decides to let him have it, he could potentially pull back some characters for
Right.
defense. That's the only thing I can think of here.
Well, the other thing though is that William is the first player and he's already passed his first conflict.
Sure.
So if William doesn't do a conflict here,
Oh, right.
Pat's
Fair
not going to
enough.
be worried about pushing everything in for
Fair
a
enough.
second conflict.
Then, yeah, I'm at a bit of a loss.
I think it may just be in Pat's best interest to not declare an attack unless he wants the money.
My military conflict. Everybody but the rivals in spirit color is going under strong. Gotta get 12. 5, 6, 7,
Well, it's going to defend, going to attack here.
Yeah, water military with yep, it's a poke for some money. Maybe
Well, he's going to force him to commit
Yeah.
some defense here.
probably force the Taka commit.
I mean, he could commit. He could go very light and commit the warrior.
Yeah,
and then favorable grounds if necessary.
Yeah, if he commits the Vanguard Warrior, between that and the Imperial Favor, he's got 3.
And he still has his
Yeah.
stronghold.
And Will only has 3 cards in his hand. So even if he just plays cards out to try to win the conflict, even if he doesn't break it, I think that's upside for Pat as well. So he does move in Taka. So that's going to be plus
5
4.
to 1.
Yes, 5. Thank you.
So, I mean, I'm presuming that Will was thinking about playing another character, but maybe just wanted the money.
Yeah. Ooh, a rebuild.
What did he have?
I think he had an Iron Mine.
Oh, no, he had the district, so he could still...
Oh, yes, the Crime District. Oh, very nice, very nice. That's strong play.
It is a strong play.
Wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah. I mean, now he has a buffed up Suichi, but he's going to have a very naked board next turn. I mean, Pat, I think it's just in Pat's best interest to pass.
No,
Actually, no, you don't.
You want the fight. You can dishonor Suichi.
Yeah. Is he going for military here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just asking if he's activated the Mancure Garden. Yes, he has. So we're going to do a military conflict. Looks like Vanguard Warrior and Steadfast Witch Hunter.
So
it's going to be 6.
7.
7, yep.
To 4. So it does hold off a break, but having Suichi dishonored going forward is not ideal.
Ooh, Bonsai.
Bonsai.
Oh, you got it already.
Looks like there's no other further actions.
So actually, with that ring win and the glory on Kaiju Suichi, William ends up taking the favor this turn.
Yeah. Just explaining that the Vanguard Warrior sacrifice. I don't know if I put it on Taka. I think I burned the Iron Mine on the Prawns. Well, I mean, he's got a lot of characters. He could keep them both alive.
Yeah, because he has 3 characters on the board, I don't think he's in any rush to use those Iron Mines. So...
Still, yeah, that favorable ground play with the rebuild, though, I still don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It looks like William put the favor on military, perhaps?
Yes.
Yeah. Look at that, man. A lot of money, but this is irony because, like, look at that. All that money and all that Pat has is a Vanguard Warrior.
I mean,
so
that's
actually,
one of the other reasons about getting rid of the Iron
Yeah.
Mine is potentially getting more characters.
I mean, especially if you're running a deck with a lot of holdings, right? You have to expect that sooner or later something like this is going to happen.
Well, and like, this is your opportunity to try to finish it off. And just,
Yep.
You got a lot of money. You need characters. You got to give
Yeah.
yourself that opportunity.
Yeah, it's not so much about outlasting your opponent anymore. It's now about pushing through those final province breaks. So this actually gave William a huge opportunity to stabilize here.
Yeah. Uses his storehouse to get a card.
And with the Karada district online as well, now any sort of unicorn attachments that Pat ends up dropping, he's not going to want to play any of them anymore.
I mean, with the one card draws, I don't think he saw any attachments. So.
And I just see I saw Reprieve as the one card draw on William's side, and I think on Pat's side, Mountain does not fall. A preemptive Mountain does not fall.
But yeah, he doesn't want to have to spend fate for it.
Right. Or honor for it, rather, right?
Yeah, sorry, that's my bad. Just double checking the wording on Karate District to see if he could use it to get some of those, keep some of those attachments on his own characters, like potentially move the Watch Commander over to the Crisis Breaker, but he can't.
Yeah, because it says give an opponent.
Give an opponent, and
fate.
it has to be take an attachment from that from a character that player controls. Yeah.
I started with all 3 colors.
So I suppose if they blackmail one of your characters with an attachment on it, you could do it, right?
Sure.
We had another question about a blackmail. What was the question? Do you remember? It's something to do with blackmailing an opponent's Kami Unleashed while you had Kaeda in play or something like that. Like if you're attacking with a Sawa Kaeda as a Phoenix and you're splashing Scorpion and you blackmail an opponent's Kami Unleashed and then sacrifice it, the question was whether you can resolve all the ring effects or just one of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we ever decided what was the answer to that or not. Anyway, back to the game. Looks like it's a military Earth conflict from William with Crisis Breaker and the Vanguard Warrior.
Is he defending with everything?
I guess so, yeah.
Push it forward.
Yeah.
So it's 10 strength?
Yeah. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, he must be defending with everyone because he's using Shunyusuke's
William has 6.
ability.
He does have the military
Yes,
favor.
thank you. So I was, I was about to say this is like a huge overcommit by Pat, except William just said that there are a bunch of keeper monks in Pat's discard pile,
Right.
So that's why he's over defending here. And of course, there's a steadfast witch hunter, so you can just use one of the keeper monks to ready whatever he wants. Yeah.
And Pat will get his own.
And again,
And a fate.
the mountain does
Without
not
even-
fall on Taka too, right? So he doesn't bow with it. Yeah.
Now that keeper is good as well because that gives him something to sacrifice for the steadfast witch hunter.
Yep.
So he does not want to avoid the Vanguard Warrior's ability. An even better target for
Ayuchi Wayfinder.
Woo.
Oh no! I know why he's doing this. It's because he has the Gaijin customs in his hand. I
right.
guess so. Still not.
Yeah, sorry. He looked at the Stronghold
Yeah.
Province. I was not paying enough attention to see what he exposed.
Maybe it's because he's just sick with cash that he's just like, whatever. I can afford to keep this around. If you want to assassinate, be my guest.
Well,
You're
he's
at
not,
4
he's
honor.
not drawing
so.
anything, so
Yeah.
If he has the Gaijin custom, that at least gives him access to that for the next couple rounds. Interesting.
Oh.
So we said he wouldn't waste the Vanguard Warrior to trigger the Steadfast Witch Hunter, but it looks like he does.
Okay. Wait, did he just move a fate from that to that?
Yes, he did.
Is there a reason why he did that?
Trying to think if there's any ability that we might be not thinking of.
Okay. We're just gonna find out why that happened. I don't think there's supposed to be a fate on the steadfast witch hunter. But anyway, while Travis goes over there to resolve it, we're gonna see a political conflict with all of Pat's ready characters. Okay. So it looks like political 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And wow, another mountain does not fall by William. Mountain does not fall, probably the MVP card of this game. And that looks like a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 defense right now. I think if now Will said that he had 7. No, yep. So, all right, hold on a second.
So Victor is just telling them what the count was. So they're just going to determine whether Pat is going to do anything to try to win this conflict.
Yeah, sorry. Normally I wouldn't interfere with something like that, but that's not simply a missed opportunity. That's an incorrect representation of the board state. So.
So it looks like he's going to Gaijin Customs to ready Shurisuke, and presumably favorable grounds will follow that up.
Okay, yeah.
So that brings in that extra point that he needs.
It's actually 10-9 now.
Oh, it's politically, right? Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, now Pat wins the conflict.
Interesting. That he, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, it does. It does matter. Winning the water ring, he could have bowed Tsuchi.
What did he resolve water on?
I don't know that he did. So Suichi is going to do an.
Did he bow the Vanguard Warrior perhaps?
No, I think maybe he did, but I thought they had attacked.
Yeah, he's just going to let this trigger. So Pat's actually now at 3 honor, and Will's at 5. I'll let you do that.
This is a lot closer than we thought it would be at this point.
But like you said, Travis, I think not using those iron mines last turn allowed William to crawl his way back the way he did, and now he's actually opened the door for a possible dishonor victory with the Watch Commander, as well as potential air pokes, because you have a really huge buffed up Suichi. Just poking with air conflicts might be enough to put it over the edge. But as I was saying while you were away from the table, I think that the Mountain Does Not Fall has actually been doing a lot of work for both players this game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So sees another copy of Taka after Taka's gone, and has an envoy. Another Suichi to keep him around in the turn. And then I think we'll probably see Kasada coming in from William's side.
What is this guy's Hida? It's the new character from the Phoenix pack, right? It's Hida something.
Amuro?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think he's going to play.
No, he's not playing him, but just for reference.
Well, the thing is, right, during this, I don't think Pat's going to pass a conflict this phase, so you don't want to play a character that can't participate in a political conflict. But yeah, Kasada's going to be a good play, especially with the now that Pat has his own Karada district. Now he can do that outside of the conflict phase. But the funny thing is, William can just use Karada district again to take it back.
So he does want the other body.
Yeah.
Which I can understand.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to see a bit of one again for both players.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so funny. I think the amount of cards that both players have drawn in this game is equal to the amount of cards that a Scorpion player draws on the first turn. So William with the first player, he's going to have opportunity to poke
Yeah, I
first.
have a feeling it's going to take these guys a little bit of time
Yeah.
to think through how they want this round to flow.
So Will does have covert. He's going for military first. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, there's not really a risk sending the Crisis Breaker, right?
Well, see, what I would have done, though, is I would have attacked with Hida Moro first, leave Crisis Breaker back.
No, because you want to be able to use them in defense as well.
Well, what I was saying is, okay, you attack with Hida Moro. If they defend with more defense, then you can send Crisis Breaker in. But you can only use that action once, right? So maybe that's why he doesn't want to commit. But
yeah. And, I mean, William's got to put some pressure on, right? He's a couple provinces behind at this point. We only have so much time left.
Looks like 7-7. I got that right?
That's right. It's a long way for William to go for a break here.
I don't think he wants to break. You just need to win, right? So meditations. Oh, nice. Okay.
All right.
Cancel by Casada.
Casada trigger canceled that.
Yep.
He's gonna go for a card now.
Ooh, Finger and Jade and court games. Think he kept the court games?
I would assume so.
Yeah. No. Williams passing. Yeah. So, with the box, that's going to buff it +4. Now, William was saying that it was a 7-7.
I think they forgot the favor.
I think they forgot the favor. I don't think Pat needed to use the box in that conflict, but it is what it is. So now Pat, I think. See, here's the thing. It's actually in Pat's best interest to pass a conflict, but that Hida Moro is actually relevant now, especially with the amount of defenders Pat committed to that first conflict.
I mean, not really. Like, sacrificing an envoy at this point is not really a hard thing to do.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's a card and 2 resources.
Yeah, let's see if he remembers. Yeah, okay. So, Travis, what do you think?
Is that the last assassination that he drew? Ooh. That'd be the dead card for him.
Oh, that's true, yeah. But what do you think about Taka's impact on this game, Travis?
He's got a pile of fate that he's not using. So,
but I don't think that's a consequence of Taka. I think that might have been a consequence of his flops. Because even despite those...
Sure. I mean, I think Taka could have had a big impact here.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Right? I mean, it didn't enable him to play any cards.
Right. No, you're right. Absolutely.
But, I mean, it does demonstrate how big of an impact Taka can have. And this is in a situation where it's a crab mirror where theoretically he could have been collecting a lot more money than he has been because he was not taking it off of his opponent's crab characters leaving play.
That's like you said, though, Travis. What is he going to do with that extra money? But it is good practice to remember those triggers.
He could have been playing a lot more fate in all the characters that he's bringing into play. Like, there's no reason that people should be leaving ever.
True.
But the big thing is he wants to be able to draw cards so he can spend money.
Now, what I want to check is if Hida Moro is a double-edged sword.
Yes, he is.
Ooh.
So, as with most of the characters that have an effect, it's after a player rather than after an opponent.
Right. Oh, is this a political conflict with Ida Casada? That's so funny.
I mean, he has got the Crisis Breaker to come help out on the military defense. And then Suichi can help with the political defense, so...
Ooh.
You remember William is ahead here. Or no, he's behind. So he's got to actually.
Well, it depends on your point of view, right? Yeah. It really depends on your point of view. I mean, he is winning 5-3 as far as honor goes.
Yeah, I just mean like right now it's
Yeah.
5-2 in terms of end of game scoring.
So Guardians of Seketsu got revealed. Seikitsu.
Yeah, so it's Earth Roll. It's the Earth Roll only card. And after the province is revealed, you bow each character with printed cost 2 or less. Yeah, those are not cards that William has in play right now.
Well, also, if he triggered the ability, Pat would only be bowing his Aichi Wayfinder. So
Now, the thing to remember is this trigger affects characters on both sides and characters that are not in the conflict. I mean, obviously, on the defense, there are no characters in the conflict yet, but. So did Pat declare with both the Wayfinder and Taco?
Looks like he did. Because I don't think he's used the Witch Hunter yet, so he's able to sack something to ready a character to attack back.
So it chooses to spend.
I think he's gonna do it. Why did he take a fate there? Oh, he had
the fate.
He gave him fate. William's just saying, yeah, I could just steal right back. So it's 6-4 now. Sorry,
6-1.
6-2.
Oh, 6-2.
Sack to ready Steadfast Witch Hunter at home. Yep.
Oh, is the Wayfinder not in the conflict?
I guess not.
It's tough to tell if we didn't hear the call at the beginning. I don't know. I don't think there's any need to do the Witch Hunter trigger yet.
Yeah. Yeah, Will was under the impression that Casada was still active, but he did lose the first conflict, so.
Okay, that's why. So did the sacrifice, use the Witch Hunter, the keeper's in the discard to use now.
William's saying he's not used to playing against crab, which I guess is true. Actually, in Toronto, there's not a lot of crab players.
So he did have the Wayfinder in there. Wayfinder's taking the Watch Commander back. Not a big surprise.
I think Pat did that too to make sure that his reprieve actually stuck. Because he's probably going to play it on the Witch Hunter here.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, because Pat does have a reprieve in his hand, so that means that because he did that Karada District dance, when he plays a reprieve, it won't be stolen by William.
Good point. Ten minutes left in the round, everyone. 10 minutes for the L5R players. So this game is almost certainly going to go to time. Because I don't think Pat has the characters to get through to the stronghold, and William doesn't have enough time to get all the breaks he needs.
No. Let's see. So, well, the thing is though, like, if it goes to time, then it's not an auto win for Pat, and William could, yeah. So void political, just with the Steadfast Witch Hunter.
Just preventing Suichi from being able to come back and break a province.
Yeah.
Use the Manicure Garden, use the Suichi's ability, Did he Mountain Not Fall earlier? Oh, yeah,
Did he play Mountain Not Fall?
yeah, there's one. The next one is this card.
No, but he played that earlier. Hold on.
Are you, I was first player, so he's not attacking back anyways. That's right. He just didn't do it because it was the end of conflict, but all right.
Now, do you know if he removed the fate from Taka?
Did he only have one on him? I wasn't paying enough attention to know.
It's hard to tell from the overhead camera, but it looks like there's 2 fate on Taka. Did he play him with 3 fate out?
I don't know. Anyway.
Oh. All right. So this is actually, I don't know.
Oh, I think William may have
Yeah.
lost the game here with that flop.
I think it was bound to happen. I mean, Pat had to dig through so many holdings that I think at some point he was just gonna. It was the clog, so to speak, was gonna clear up.
And he had to make his decision about what he was going to discard quickly. So when
Yeah.
he kept his Karada district, Pat decided to let his go.
Mm-hmm.
3 fate was a little much, I think, given the time left in the game. But apparently both players want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand getting one. You avoid the water ring, but it's not as if they're drawing a lot of cards to do it. I really wish he wouldn't stack his fate. But judging how many fate is on a character by the length of the shadow is a little tricky.
I wonder where Pat got that dial from. It looks 3D printed. Might be one of those magnetized dials. You're gonna have to ask Pat where he got it from.
Oh, all right, yeah. I was going to start predicting what's going to happen here, but I don't know.
So I think a poke here is actually decent. Like with you could even just send in the Ayuchi Wayfinder and the Initiate. You could even send in the Shurugisuki just to get card draw.
Sure.
But you just have to be aware of Hida Kasada in play. So if you want to get Shurugisuki's ability off, you're gonna have to find a way to waste Kasada's ability first.
Yeah. There aren't great ways to do that.
Pat just trying to decide the best formation for his cards.
Yeah.
You know, you got to close ranks to make sure the shields are all touching. Yeah, looks like a military conflict here for 4. So Shurugisuki and Crisis Breaker. Yeah, you're right. 5 with the favor against the Karada District. What do you think that last province is? Let's see. So far, it's air, fire, void.
Defend the wall, maybe?
Yeah, probably. Because there's water and earth left. Yeah, you really don't want to hit defend the wall, especially if you're going to if you're going to do an air province attack with 3 honor.
Well, I mean, so it's either defend the wall or it's public forum, really, right?
Yeah.
Those are the two options.
So huge defense by William here. I think just to make sure that Hida Kasada's ability stays relevant.
Well, not just that, he can't afford to lose a province.
Yeah.
Looks like Pat might have drawn a charge that's going to be no good to him now.
Now, can you charge without any characters in your provinces?
No.
Just to counter Kasada? No.
Because
you need a character,
right?
right?
You can't change
Yeah.
the words.
I call that the Andres rule.
Well, it's the same reason that Sunho was asking earlier if he can charge a character with that cannot participate in a military conflict. I guess you could. Sorry. No, you can't. No, they can't participate, so you can't have ever added them.
All right, he's just going to let him have that one. It's tough for Will, too. I mean, I think you just pass here. The problem with passing is that the state of the game right now is such that when time runs out, and time will probably run out before this round concludes, if nothing else changes, Pat ends up getting a modified win. Because I think between the favor and the 2 province breaks, that's 5 points to 2.
So, shameful display.
Yeah.
Not a surprise.
I mean, I think you pass your first conflict here, and then you see what Pat does. Yeah, you see what Pat does for his second conflict, and then you just try to overcommit. But I mean, unfortunately, Pat's maneuvered it such that you can't really.
He needs to break a province. Oh no, he's got one broken now. So.
That's not enough to win. That's 4. It's still 4 to 5 for Pat.
No, that's fine. But then it's just a matter of potentially claiming the favor.
Yeah. If Pat gets the favor, that's 4. It's 5 to 4 then.
Well, it's 4 to 4 and then the favor, right? So whoever has the favor has the slight edge.
So Pat has 5. William has 4.
Right, but it's 4 to 4, and then the favor is the tiebreaker, which Pat has. So now the difference is if William can break or get the favor, then he can get ahead.
No, I'm just saying all that William needs to do is get the favor.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was also saying.
So we got 20 seconds. Do you want to just inform them that?
Well, I'll let them know when time is up.
Yeah.
I think you guys are the only ones that are still playing. So.
Oh, this is the last table?
I think everyone else is.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So Travis is going to go over to the table and inform them that the time is now up, and they're going to just do a quick assessment of the board to find that. Pat isn't indeed up 5 points to 4. So if people don't know, the way it works is that when time is called, for each player you immediately figure out, well, it looks like a handshake just happened. I think Pat just won there. But anyway, just to complete my thought, the way it works is that you figure out on the board for each player, it's 2 points if you've for each province broken for a maximum of 3 of your opponents. And then it's 2 points if you have more honor than your opponent, and then 1 point if you control the favor. And then for each player, you sum those up. And then after you sum up both those totals, if one player has 5 more points than the other, they just straight up win. If no player does, then each player is given the opportunity to concede to their opponent honorably, which is incentivized by you get more points for a full win as opposed to a modified win. So a full win is just if you either concede or if you lose before time is run out. Whereas a modified win is if you actually don't concede and you play the end of the round after time is called, then you do the calculation again, and this time, if it's whoever has more points than the other just gets a modified win, which for tournament points is, I think, 6
If you do
instead
break the
of 10.
stronghold during that time, you do get a full win.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we go away this time, I did want to thank our Patreon supporters who've contributed to our channel. We're really grateful for them. Also, the people who are subscribed on Twitch. Anything that they can do, this costs a little bit of money, so anything we can do to offset some of those costs is great, and we're really grateful to those people.
Yeah, and especially with this Patreon, I mean, we're really looking to make the rest of 2018 much more event-filled. Like, we're really excited with, especially the way organized play is shaking out for Legend of the Five Rings. The battle for the Stronghold and the battle for the Stronghold format is going to ensure that we can bring lots of tournament level games for Legend of Five Rings.
We're probably going to be going through the Stronghold series every 2 or 3 weeks for the next couple months. Season 2 is supposed to be coming in June, so we want to get through the Stronghold season by the end of June. So we'll be having regular events here that we'll be streaming. But we're going to take a quick break now and be back probably within 10 minutes for the next round.
Thanks. Hey guys, welcome back for the last round of this Disciple of the Void release event. I'm Victor again, here with Travis for VTTV Live. And so, I think at the beginning of this event we mentioned that there was only two Phoenix players, and unfortunately neither of them made it to the top tables, but we decided to bring Zachary back from round one, as he is the player currently in first place, and he's facing off against Sung Ho, and they're both playing
That's the only match
Scorpion.
with two undefeated players.
Yeah.
There's one other undefeated player, but they've been pared down.
So just for those people who are watching on YouTube, someone on the Twitch chat asked if support of the Phoenix was a legal role for clans to play during this event, and the answer, I believe, is yes. I think only the elemental roles are the ones that were chosen during the Winter Court are the only ones that have that restriction that clans can't play an elemental role other than the one that was chosen. But yeah, support of the Phoenix, I believe, is a role that is open to every clan as of right now.
Yeah, I don't think we had anyone playing the new role or the new Stronghold. We had a couple Phoenix players, but they were using the old...
Well, the Phoenix player that we had on round one, Norm, I talked to him. He said that he didn't have a chance to pick up the pack before this morning.
I mean, I imagine that's probably the case with the other player as well.
Anyway, sorry, to go to the game, we have, I believe, Zachary was the first player, and we see a double Bayushi Manipulator flop. Of course, really strong, especially in control mirrors, like Scorpion is. And, lets you draw some extra cards. They're both saying, yeah, we're going to both trigger the Bayushi Manipulator, both draw some 6 cards up. So... I'm quite familiar with. Sorry, you got to change that to crab again.
Oh,
you got the. But anyway, yeah, Zach is actually running a Scorpion Crab and not Scorpion Unicorn. But so as I was saying during round one, if you were watching during round one, Zachary's Scorpion deck was actually quick and brutal. You managed to win the game in I think 2 or 3 turns. Versus Sung Ho's Scorpion Dragon, which is typically a bit more control-y. So we'll see exactly how this shakes out. But it's going to be a Void military conflict with Yogo Outcast against Secret Cache. So Secret Cache is going to let Zachary look at the top 5 cards of his deck, keep one of those in his hand. Yogo Outcast is not turned on just yet. Hitting Secret Cache, always a good feeling, especially if you can keep it around for more than one conflict. So one of the interesting things here, I think, in this mirror matchup is, well, number one, Way of the Scorpion. Oh, there was an assassination just played by Zach. So yeah, Way of the Scorpion is going to be a mostly dead card in this game. And there's a double assassination. So Sung Ho loses 3 honor as well. And I think he was... Oh, okay. Zachary was debating for a second whether or not to use the Forge Edict in his hand. Elects not to. Now, the funny thing is, I actually see Bayushi Kachiko. He brought that to the front of his deck. And he does have 6 Fate. So... Yeah. He might actually what he might do here is oh no he doesn't win that.
I think the instant assassination response was just to prevent the Zachary from being able to use his Stronghold.
Right. Oh, that's very smart. So what I'm thinking is that, I mean, this is just based off Zachary bringing his Kachiko to the front, and he's just gonna play it
with 1 Fate.
1 Fate. And I think just throw a Pathfinder Blade on it, and probably just poke at something with a political conflict. Earth.
Oh, does Sung Ho not have any Let Goes in his hand?
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, I see.
So a little luckery for
I actually see a lot of dead cards in Sungho's hand. I see a Way of the Scorpion. Ooh, Meditations. But he does have Pathfinder's Blade. So I see a Way of the Scorpion, I see a Censure, and I see a Cloud of the Mind, all of which cannot be played against Kachiko, or at least this conflict.
We did have Let Go.
Oh, he was hiding Let Go.
Okay.
I think if you were going to use a Forge Edict, here's the perfect time to do it. And you do have a Court Games to re-honor, so yeah.
Better
Nice.
have her dishonored and around for another round.
Well, no,
okay.
the Court Games to re-honored. Frad the Impaler asks, how are the rounds timed? Just 1 hour per round. Yep. We're using standard tournament rules, which states that each round is 1 hour long.
Yeah, I guess we haven't been saying, but we are doing 3 rounds today. This will be the last round today.
Yeah. And I think we're going to be putting up these videos on YouTube within a few days. So any of you who are watching, who just tuned in, fear not. You can watch the other 2 games on YouTube when we put them up.
So that will be a break.
Yeah. So as I was saying in round 1, it does seem that Zachary is very aggressive when it comes to playing Scorpion. So an early Bayushi Kachiko play is not. It tends not to be something that I see very often from Scorpion players, but yeah. So yeah, Earth with Bayushi Manipulator. I think he's forcing Zachary to use the favored ground here, and a 4-shame to dishonor Bayushi Kachiko.
Interesting.
Yeah. Policy debate, perhaps? No, he's just gonna, yeah. So this is, yeah. So I believe, yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna get this ring here. But this play does guarantee that Zachary gets the favor, Imperial favor, which is, I don't know if Zachary knows what's in Sungho's list, but you know, keeping that censure blank is huge.
Yeah, I'm guessing Sungho must have missed the favorable ground, as it wouldn't have been. It wasn't worth it to lose the favor.
He would have lost the favor anyway, because Zachary has one conflict one. So even if he didn't,
But if he, no, but
oh, I see.
the
With
one,
the
one on Glory left on
You're
the
right.
manipulator.
Yep. You're right, Travis. Yeah, I missed that.
So Zachary does take this exchange. Sungho does bring Three Fate into this round, so you get a bit more to play with.
Yep.
Then Kachiko is dishonored, so it's not quite as scary as she might normally be. Still effective, but.
And actually, I think this is a matchup where we're going to see, assuming that Illustrious Plagiarist sticks around, we're actually going to see maybe a lot of use out of that card.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about 2 event-heavy clans here. Wow, Shoju now on the flop as well. So yeah, so the first play, Illustrious Plagiarist, probably with 2 Fate on it. And not only does this allow Sungho to play some events from Zach's discard pile, it also turns on that Cloud the Mind that's hiding in Sungho's hand. I see a full art card in Zach's hand. I'm not sure what that is. Looked like an attachment of some sort. Oh, it's a full art Cloud the Mind? Cloud the Mind? I didn't know there was full art.
Scorpion.
Oh, you'll see it. It's an attachment. It's a full art attachment.
Full art attachment.
Yeah. I didn't know they had full out Cloud the Minds.
But it's in the.
Oh, is it in the Stronghold kit?
No.
Maybe. So anyway, Zach plays the Yogo Outcast.
Was it in the Kote kits?
Maybe. This Kote kits?
With the Kote price support.
Oh, maybe. Interesting. Sungho uses Plagiarist as his only play. And we're probably just going to see a Cloud the Mind here on Zach's side. Cloud the Mind. Oh, Cloud the Mind and Plagiarist. Now,
Yeah, for the magistrate
Yeah.
stage, they cloud the mind.
I gotta check something quick because I see that new Scorpion character. It's spell event. Okay, that's why I was wondering if you could counter it.
Yeah.
So Cloud the Mind on Kichiko, Cloud the Mind on Plagiarist. Sungo has the first opportunity to declare conflict here. Wow, he's thinking about hard casting Yogo Kukuyo. Maybe. We'll see. No, he's just going to go for a political fire. It's tough, man. Like, you don't want to go back to Secret Cache.
No, but nothing else is. It's
Yeah.
all bad, right?
Yeah. That's not that bad.
No. And that's the best he's going to get. Like, Pilgrimage would have been terrible.
Did you see if he defended anything yet?
No, he hasn't indicated yet. I'm going to defend with Kichiko, looks like.
All right, so it's going to be 4-4. So first action will be using the meditations to remove the fate from the Plagiarist. And here's a Force Shame to bow Kichiko. Very nice.
How is the Plagiarist at 4?
Oh, is it? Sorry, my bad. I thought Plagiarist was a 1-4. Yeah. Zach just asking how many cards are in Sungo's hand. It is 9. An Ornate Fan. Oh, I see. He's putting the Ornate Fan down so he can send the Plagiarist home. Oh, very smart play by Sungo here. He's going to use his favorable ground to send his own Plagiarist home. So, heads up play by Sungo here.
Zachary wins the ring with a favor. He does
Yeah.
still have the strength even with a bad character. No surprise, going for water, seeing if he can't get that Kichiko back up.
Shameful display on City Allies there.
Yeah.
So his first action is going to be to use the Shameful display. So that's going to go 2-1, I think. You know, it's funny. I don't think Zachary wants to push. Oh, a policy debate. Nice.
So 4-1.
So after Zachary's explosive start, we're starting to see Sungo stabilize a little bit here. I understand the Yogo Outcast play. It was because he needed to cloud the mind the Plagiarist. So that made sense. But I think that let... well, I don't know. Because, you know... Zach didn't know that Sungo was going to hit meditations.
No.
Right? So who knows? That Plagiarist might have stuck around for 2 turns. So I understand that play, but that let Sungo stabilize a little bit. And you see Sungho's actually not using the box yet to take an honor back, just because he wants to make sure that Yogo Outcast doesn't have an opportunity to turn on.
Yeah, there's no reason to do it early.
I always jump the gun with that because for me, I feel like my opponent's just going to assassinate and
So it's
then ruin
interesting.
my
We did
chances.
see a 5
but,
bid
yeah.
from Zach. He did try to pitch it. Sunho did preempt it.
Oh yeah, he did that because now he can turn on the Yogo Outcast, right? Because now
But still, Sunho still does win there.
he does win.
Isn't it?
It's 2-2 now. It's a military conflict.
No, the policy debate.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sung Ho 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Did they not resolve the policy debate? Anyway, we're just gonna fix that. Oh no, he doesn't win because because when he won the policy debate, the strength by the Yoga Outcasts got buffed up by 1, so it's 7-7. Yeah. Yeah, I caught that too, right as you were walking over. So anyway, sorry, we missed that, but that was a bonsai play by Sung Ho that allowed him to not lose that military conflict. So now we see Sung Ho playing his own Bayushi Kachiko. And I think we go after meditations here.
Yeah.
And just break it now. Yeah.
Just discussing their earlier plays.
Yeah. Military. I guess he did do a political before.
I think he had a charge in hand, but that seems... I guess playing it for free.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I mean, yeah, and Zach can't counter it because he's got his courtiers dishonored already, so...
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it still has potential for censures, right?
Yeah, there's also an assassinate in Zach's hand, so you can actually fire off the assassinate to prevent this from breaking. Is it worth it though? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So Zach loses 1 honor from undefended. Yep, I already got it. And yeah, very beautiful full art way of the Scorpion.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, get rid of my dead card.
Well, now you don't have any favored niece fodder. Oh. So now, yeah, the favor...
I think it was just explaining how I could use my stronghold, but then you use your stronghold, so it's not even bothering.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. So, actually...
Just trading everything back and forth here.
So, Zach now down to 4.
Now you can safely skill 1 after...
Yep. You got the steel buttons.
I know.
I know. It's sometimes I forget how the.
I need to make some of the buttons bigger.
Like, so, who's stealing what from who? Yeah.
Sung Ho ever helpful getting the fate for his opponent.
Yeah, if people don't know Sung Ho, he's the
Phantom
best
hand.
Yeah, he's the Phantom hand in a lot of our top cuts. People watch Netrunner and all that stuff. He's the greatest table judge in Toronto. Decides to keep the shoju. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fate on Zach's side. Another illustrious plagiarist, but this time there's no. Okay, well, yeah, fire off the shoju first off. And then another illustrious plagiarist. Let's see if this one sticks this time. I mean, the other thing is, Sung Ho also has the Yeah, also has the Imperial Favor, so you can use Censure. Man, things are starting to look rough for Zach now. That early province break was huge, but you know, as long as Sung Ho doesn't have any easily assassinatable targets, and you know, that policy debate can do some work in Zachary's hand, but
is a top event Fortich Edict, I think, maybe in Zachary's discard?
Maybe. It's hard to tell.
The last thing I remember him playing.
Yeah.
There may have been a court games after it.
Oh, what do you think the bids are now with Honor being so low? Yeah. Now the bids are starting to be. Because the thing is, in Scorpion, right? Like, you don't want to bid just one. No. You want to bid a little bit more because you want to. Oh, 3 to 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say I expected a 3 from Zach.
Oh, that's a really good play by Sung Ho there. Here, I'll do the. Yeah, Sung Ho had an incentive to bid high too. Oh, another Cloud of the Mind. Yeah, Sung Ho had the incentive to bid high too because he wanted to turn off the Yogo Outcast.
True.
And now a Cloud of the Mind on Shoju. Crah. This is where not having a Dragon Splash is, I think, really starting to hurt Zach here. But a Pathfinder Blade going down on Shoju's side. I mean, just because he's Cloud the Minded doesn't mean he can't do a big political push, but let go on Sung Ho's side. Now the funny thing is, I think, well, actually he can't do it because the Yogo Outcast is already dishonored. If the Yogo Outcast does become honored at some point, he could even play Calling in Favors to move the Cloud the Mind off the Shoju onto the Yogo Outcast. But he's going to start with, looks like a Void political conflict on the Bayushi Liars province with just Shoju. Shoju being at 7, ooh, Pilgrimage, yeah. So Shoju being at 7 political is going to protect himself from Bayushi Kachiko's ability. So starting with the court games, targeting Shoju. That's actually going to bring him below the political strength threshold to send him home. And here's a Force Shame as a follow-up.
So he's deciding.
Yeah, bow. Because now you can just use, Kachiko's ability.
You're still winning the conflict because of the favor.
Yeah. Man, that Imperial Favor is just so tricky because sometimes you're like, okay, all the guys are bowed, all their guys have sent home. So they don't win, right? But it's that favor. So Sung Ho indicates that he's copying for shame with the illustrious plagiarist. Now, do you know if the top card thing is dynamic for plagiarist? Like, is it whatever the current top card is, or I guess you choose the topmost card?
So now he has that action ability at the end of the round.
Okay. So he uses for shame the topmost card, but he doesn't have a courtier participating currently. Well, actually, it is a courtier. Sorry, illustrious plagiarist is a courtier. So. Ooh. So court games bringing it up to 5.
Yeah.
That's enough to break the pilgrimage. Ugh.
I don't know if there's anything to do about it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Water is going to probably ready Kachiko. Maybe?
Well, no. So your option here is like maybe you just bow Yogo, deny him the chance to get the fade off that ring.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
Because you're gonna win the ring. It doesn't really matter, right? So.
No, chooses to ready Kachiko instead.
I mean, looking at that, yes, you can deny the fate, but Zach already has a lot of fate, so that may not be a huge concern.
Well, plus he can try to poke at Secret Cache to break it.
Yep.
So.
The other thing is, does Sungho have an assassinate in hand?
Yes, he does. No. Zach has an assassinate. I'm not sure if Sungho does. There's so many dead cards in Zach's hand, though. It's... yeah. And here's Sungho's Secret Cache. Oh. So, military. Yeah.
I mean, obviously things are good for Sungho now, but his advantage is not so much that he's going to be able to finish Zach off, I don't think.
He was thinking about policy debate, but I think charge might even be better, unless he just drew a conflict character that he can play out. So no defenders. Yeah, I don't think Sungho minds losing some honor here to the air ring, because he can just steal it back.
But the assassinate.
Man, instead assassinate, crazy. You know, in a way that's just fine because he's able to... Whoops. Yeah, because now he can actually... So I think he suspects that Zach doesn't have a lot of action in his hand.
Yeah.
So if he can bring the honor low enough, he can start bidding low.
Right.
Or forcing Zach to bid low so he can't draw a lot of answers.
I'm going to take one now.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Well, yeah, now that the outcast is gone, you don't really need to worry.
I mean, and he's going to be able to honor... He's going to be able to go fire ring here, and... Oh, he's going to keep putting... This is interesting.
Yeah. Well...
Why air?
It brings him to 1, then he steals back to 2.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So, undefended, steals 1.
Yeah. And he breaks the province, too. So, yeah.
Did he not break the province? Oh,
Yeah, he broke it.
He
He just has to flip it face down. Yeah. Yeah, just remind him to flip it face down. So where we saw Zach had a really strong start, I think it turned out now that Sungho has the crushing advantage now. Yeah. And I don't think that illustrious plagiarist ever actually got used, maybe last turn. Yeah. So Zachary's flop needs to be really good here. Yeah. Yeah, so if so we'll see if Zach's flop cooperates. Gestures with his hands. I'm not sure if that was like a good gesture or a bad gesture.
Well, I mean, I think his gesture is you got to show you.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
And I mean, he's got it shoju, and he can deal with all of his characters. I don't know if any of those are Shigenja. I don't think so.
Well, the Social Illusionist is a Shigenja.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he has any clouds left, so...
And man, we're seeing a similar situation to what we saw last round with Pat, where he was just had so much money but not a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
However, the difference is that Scorpion's events, they can tend to be expensive,
yes.
Especially stuff like Fate Worse Than Death. But, you know, like I was saying a minute ago, Zachary doesn't have a lot of cards that are relevant right now. Policy Debates and Way of the Scorpions and Assassinates. Like the only assassinate target on Zachary, or sorry, on Sungho's side is Beiju Lair, but the problem is...
Yeah, I don't think there's any assassinating going on.
Yeah. Bid 1, right? Or does Sungho bid 2?
Sungho might get bid 2 here, just to make sure that...
Oh. That's a smart play by Zach, bidding 2 there.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, you might be putting yourself in a dangerous position.
Yeah.
That force shame is still the top.
Yeah. One thing to note, though, that Forge Edict is now online for
So he does.
Zach.
He is going to copy that forged edict with the plagiarist.
The Force Shame, you mean?
Force shame, sorry.
Yep.
Never mind. I don't even have the excuse of it being a long day.
Oh. Yep. Zach does get an action. Okay. Yeah, Sungho's going to take a look at his hand.
I was just
Okay.
showing over on the side of the table.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I think we can see.
Yeah. He does have the cloud.
Yeah. There's a Cloud of Mind and a Fate Worse Than Death, so that was what Sungho was commentating on.
I mean, that fate was the death. It's not getting played.
Why not?
Cancels.
What's that?
Cancels.
Well, Zachary has the cancels to push it through, too.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah. I mean, he...
Somehow
Yeah.
it's 2.
Well, Sungho has Censure, and he has...
Yeah, I didn't see if he had a center. I just saw
yeah,
the 2
Sungho's been, had a Censure since
that's true.
the start of the game. Yeah. This is probably an entrenched position, right?
Quiet, since I can hear that.
Yeah. Oh, rally the cause. Oh, man. That was unexpected. Rally to the cause. So, yeah, he changed it from political to military. And so that sent the liar and the meek informant home. So let's see here. It's 3, 6, 7, 8. I'm assuming Zach is defending with everything, or?
I'm guessing so.
Oh, nope, just those 2. So it looks like 1 plus 4. So first action, he's going to use Social Illusionist.
It's only 7 for. Right?
Yeah.
Only
now
7
it's
for Sungho? 3 and 1? Oh, no, he's on it. Never mind. My bad. 8 right.
how much is it for? It's 7 also for Zach, right? So Sungho just walked away from the table because he needs some dice for the conflict.
Does he have them?
No, he's right there. Yeah, I think the if my math is right, looks like Zach has.
Is it
Yeah.
everyone?
No, it's not. Yeah, we got it right.
Right.
It's 7-8.
Well, you got it right. I was all over the place.
Well, I got the table audio, so
Yeah.
there is a bonsai in Sungho's hand. Ooh, just a pass. Policy debate. Is that a cancel? Yes.
I think you have to.
Yeah, censure. Now Zach does have more. Maybe Sungho policy debates back. I think that's what you should do. Does he have policy? No, I'm mistaken.
Let's have a charge.
Man, that rally to the cause was huge. Because
It is, but
I mean, if
a charge here
it
is
would have
pretty
been a
big.
whole lot different. Bonsai.
We'll do it first.
Yeah.
Same to 12.
Yeah. So he splits it up. Yeah. So let's see. City of the Open Hand is 5, like it's 5 province strength, right? With the Aureli cause. So right now he's breaking. Zach needs to do something.
I was going to try the Fate Worth of Death.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was going to try policy debate.
Yeah, I think here's another cancel, perhaps.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter like he's got to, right? Because he's just going to pull a cancel.
No, he's just going to let it happen. Well, I think he's fine with that. Because the thing is... Dead card. Yeah.
I guess other way.
Now the thing is, remember the first shame is in play, so Sungho has to remember that, and Zach has to also remember that. So it does get rid of the cancel. He's still winning.
He still has the fate worse than death, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna have to use it.
Yeah, he does remember the first shame.
It's not gonna be enough.
No.
Oh, that's interesting that he used it. Wasn't he already ahead?
After 8 player, not
Yeah.
2. So if I pass, I get 1 player. Yeah. After 8 player passes.
So he swaps.
He swapped Shoju's.
So it's +4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got that right. It says 10.
Or
5 + 4, 9, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know why we have Zach's honor at 6, but it's 2 now. Oh, so instead of playing the Fate Worse Than Death, he goes with Kachiko. And then passes. No, that wasn't that useful. He gets a policy debate, though. Wait, so isn't this just a win for Zach now? Kaibosh asks if Sungho lost an honor for that bonsai. He did. He was at, I believe he was at 3 honor, and then he paid an honor for the bonsai. Now that's interesting. Oh, okay. So he went for fire here because, yeah. Oh, he just concedes. Okay, so Sungho went for the Hail Mary attack on the City of the Open Hand, assuming that it was an entrenched position, because I think that's what a lot of Scorpion players do. But Zachary surprised him with the Rally to Cause, which was actually a huge blowout because it was a huge reduction in force. Got rid of 2 of his dash characters on the thing. And that was enough for Zach to attack on a post. So congratulations to Zachary. And that, I think, puts Zachary in first place, which is going to make him eligible for a Phoenix playmat. And I think Sungho, even despite losing this, is going to still mean that
he's got a 3-0 in his strength of schedule. So,
all right. So I think that's going to be it for today. But before we go, once again, we want to thank everyone who's donated to our Patreon.
Thank you, Kibosh. I see that you're in our Twitch chat today. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon.
And as we were saying at the end of last round too, I think with the Stronghold season starting, all the stores are getting their kits now. We're going to be starting with a lot more L5R coverage, starting with the Stronghold events here at 401.
We also have all the matches from... We didn't have an official Nationals event recently when we held Canadian Nationals for all the other FFG games. We have a lot of great matches on our YouTube channel if people haven't watched them yet.
Yeah, the Breakout Festival that we held at Canadian Nationals. So if you want to see some really good L5R games, just go to our YouTube channel, VTTV Live is our YouTube, and take a look at the Breakout Festival videos. We have the entirety of Swiss as well as the top 8 cut. So there's a lot of L5R content for you guys to consume. And I think our next stream will probably be... Are we going to do Netrunner?
It might be
next
April
week?
27th. Or we might do Netrunner next week. We'll see.
Yeah. April 27th. What's going on there? The Stronghold?
We'll probably start at Stronghold.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that being said, thanks everyone for watching, and for Travis, this is Victor signing off. Thank you.